Now we start. Go ahead, Don. Get your stuff out.
Oh,
Get
wow. When we killing
he fumbled he fumbled your heart. No, he didn't fumble.
Your stuff off, man.
Goodness God.
Shit.
Just know the Why Naming podcast, we want all smoke.
All the smoke.
I'm cutting that out.
Nope.
No, you not.
You want all smoke.
Because I'm going to let you know this. Nah, let me go.
Oh.
We don't even watch you. You watch us.
Oh.
Cutting all this out. Cutting all this out.
Hey,
There's no need for this.
How Gilly be doing it? How Gilly be doing it?
Nigga,
we don't even watch
podcast, nigga.
We don't even watch you.
Who watch that shit? Nobody.
Then he got his man be like, nobody.
We got everybody in the streets.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of the Here Y'all Go podcast. He is here, Don is here, Reek is here, Nazir is here, and Ion is here. How is everybody doing today on this fine Sunday?
It's cool, man.
Good, man.
It's hot as fuck outside.
It is hot as fuck.
It's like 90-something degrees already.
The AC broke in the house yesterday, so it was 90 degrees. No, it's fixed now. It's good now.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I was talking about yesterday. No, yeah. It was like 90 degrees in this bitch. I was dying. But so today we are going to have a local artist, specifically somebody who was on the pod, Nazir, with his new song "Let It Go." From there, we're gonna talk about this versus battle. Then we're gonna have a little NBA update. Talk about Lou Williams and his wild antics.
Bro, he just wanted to see some ass and titties, man. That's it.
Mikey Williams announced his top 10. Serena and her daughter purchased a soccer team. Amazing. Cole produces Diamonds. Special 2-pack. Logic's album. And then we're going to talk about Kanye's mental health and his antics.
A bar. Cole produces Yo, that's a bar. Hold on.
Thank you.
Okay, Ty.
Yeah, that was Darian. I know it was Darian. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. Yeah.
It was on the track, so I'm not gonna act like I made that up. He said it on the track.
Oh shit.
You should have ran with it.
Can't do that.
And then when we hop into this Kanye mental health, we are going to bring in a special guest. So let's go ahead and hop into this local artist. This is Nazir with "Let It Go."
I came to paint the pictures of the thoughts in my head, saying things that often ain't said. A wise man once said, if you stand for something, then you won't fall for nothing, or something along those lines. But point is that everybody has a dream, but not what it takes to make it break. No foundation, just clout chasing, with clown faces and without thinking. They say whatever and I can't take it. They do whatever just to count frankness, but through this era I done found patience, plus some other shit. Unloaded my pain just to reload it again with another clip out of this.
What you think about that?
So what did everybody think about it, man? What did everybody think about it?
Honestly, if I'm being honest for a second, it was doo-doo. Straight up trash. Don't even waste your time with it. It is garbage. No. No, hold on. No, for real though. Like I told you in our group chat, you have found your sound. The sound that you want to constantly try to duplicate, your lane that you want to stay in, your bread and butter. This is what is going to set you apart from a lot of different people, is you telling your story, and it has to be on a soulful track. Like if it's not on a soulful track, if you just like on a regular rap beat, it's not going to resonate the same. Just how the track like complements with your flow, your cadence, and your substance, it literally tells the story it literally allows you to paint the picture that you're trying to get across. And I told you, this is like personally the best track to date that you've done. Not even, lyrical wise, but just how it all came together. Proud of you, kid.
Damn. Don about to make niggas cry.
That Don said it, man. That the way you were able to tell your story, this was the best. I agree with him. To date, this was your best performance because with it being Cold Summer beat, we told you before, like, you better come correct on this track. Like, this is not a sound to play with.
Ain't nothing to play with.
And you did your thing, man. Proud of you, man. It's a good job.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's saying I always say the same thing, but I think we all felt the impact of that. We could tell you worked hard on that track. Just off the rough draft and what you sent us the first time. And then they go back in the booth and then come back with the whole track and it still just hit harder than it did the first time. I'm impressed. I was impressed. Like, and for you to like rap on that beat alone, like I said, like that's nothing to play with. So I think you did Cold Summer some justice by rapping on that. So yeah, man, proud of it.
It was really good. I definitely thought it was your best work to date. Which is saying something because you have put out really good work. I think you're consistent. I like the way that you target. You know, you sort of try to target untouchable instrumentals. You know, to lay your work on. I'm proud of you, man. Just to watch your growth. Keep going. You know, don't let this, blow your head up. You got a lot of work to do.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? The fact that you know, it's like you said in the song, you told us you was gonna kill it and you did. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely agree with what everybody said. Just keep working, bro. You found your lane. You found your lane. I don't know how comfortable you feel with it, like knowing that this is you. But personally, I think this is what you should stick to. It's the best sound that you can have, and if it sounded so comfortable for you to be right there in that lane, so stick to it. Just keep working, bro.
Nazir, got anything else to say?
Yeah, man.
Pick yourself up.
You know, just writing this track, I just like Reek was just saying, I felt this level of comfort that came with it, Just has been a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. And, I feel like the best way is to just let everything out is through your form of art, whether it's drawing, whether it's photography, pictures, music, whatever it may be. And, I just felt like I had a lot to say. And like me, like Diane was kind of saying, I kind of tend to go on beats that, a lot of people deem untouchable. Like one of the first songs that I felt like I wrote that was like getting to the point of reaching my sound was like Dead Presidents, like touching that beat. Like you don't touch beats like that unless you don't come correct. And back to the topic, things like that. And, I'm just starting to really feel my lane now. I think I'm, like Don was saying, I'm really finding my sound, that old soulful sample style beats, you know what I'm saying? Just want to keep being able to relay my message. It's just, this was kind of a jump start to me really getting in the groove of working on my project, inside my head. I'm just excited to see what's coming next. So yeah, it's on SoundCloud now. It's going to be on YouTube in about 10 minutes. It'll be on Instagram. So, just go check it out. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody that's listening. Just continue giving me feedback, sharing the music or whatever. But yeah.
So those. That's pretty much it, man. Proud of you, bro. For sure. But now, the moment that we have all been waiting for.
You love then the hate. Yep.
Now, the moment that we have been waiting for.
Can I go first?
No.
Can I go first?
Wait. Let
We have to
Reek
give
his 30
him a
seconds.
second to explain himself.
No, hold on, wait. Before Nasir explains himself, Reek, talk your shit.
Reek gets a minute. Because
Talk your shit.
That was a crazy
video.
victory.
He has to explain. Oh wait, no.
No, yeah. Let me get the big. Let me get a shine off right quick.
Talk your stuff, big dog.
Talk your stuff. Go ahead. Come on, get your
Talk your stuff.
shit off, man.
Look, man, all I'm going to say is they doubted us. Don, they doubted us. Bro. That's all I could really say. Niggas trigger 5 songs. I thought it was 3, but they said 5. How many we finished with, Don?
13.
13.
I don't even have enough fingers to count that. 13?
Tell them again. You don't got what? You don't have enough fingers to count. Nah, honestly, it was a good battle. My honest opinion, I definitely thought I was gonna lose. I really was supposed to lose.
We all thought you.
Have a reputation.
One thing I will say with this, with versus, the same thing D said when he first went. It's a whole different story until you're doing it. Watching it, it's like, damn, why didn't it play this? Why didn't it play that? Like, that's a bad retaliation. It's a whole nother story, like, when you actually are playing the songs and you looking through your list. And when it comes to your time, like, oh, I really got to pick this song, and you low-key rushing, like, damn, which one am I really going to play? Yeah. It's all about, like anything. I'm a competitive person, so, I take it in a competitive nature. It's all about how you set the tone. It's about how you start, but it's really about how you finish sometimes, too. So, it was a good battle, Reek, but I definitely would say I set the tone and led the way from there, and it was really no follow-up from it, bro. Like, after a certain point, it was nothing really you could do.
It was nothing.
We all knew that point was because he had it. He had it. And then he played he had it. Then he played Say Goodbye. Allow the mood to switch.
Nah, so he had it. He had it, but like you said in the chat, bro. At a certain point, you forgot I was even leading the track.
For sure. All right, we're gonna get to that. Go ahead, Nazir. Explain yourself.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, pause. Sorry. For fans who don't know, we had a versus battle between Chris Brown and Trey Songz. My bad. I forgot. I completely forgot.
I'm sure they got the idea by now.
I completely forgot. Yeah, we had a versus battle last Thursday. Chris Brown versus Trey Songz. Nazir was Chris Brown. Week was Trey Songz.
Trey Songz won 13-7.
Trey Songz won 13-7 and was not supposed to. But Nazir, go ahead and explain yourself.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say, point blank period. I didn't prepare properly.
You went it the wrong way, Reed.
I didn't prepare properly for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I spent 3-4 days preparing for goddamn Usher, preparing all the pops that was gonna be able to be Chris Brown's theme. You know what I'm saying? And it's not no excuse, but it's reality. It's the facts. I prepared for Usher, and then what's about like an hour until game time, Reek called me. He was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? What the people want Trey Songz, Chris Brown. Let's give it to him." And I was like, "Fuck it, all right."
That should have been easier.
That doesn't make sense.
Should have been the same.
Before y'all try to kill me,
You should have washed Trey Songz.
Let me finish. This is the thing though. The songs that I had selected weren't really for a Trey Songz type of battle. It was for an Usher type of battle because the Usher type of move is more fitting to the songs I had selected versus the Trey Songz type of move. Like, there was a bunch of, like, for example, when he started getting to a sex playlist, there was other Chris Brown sex songs that I didn't really have listed because I didn't think they would be needed. So
you don't think they would be needed?
They weren't going to win. So, look, I'm going to just go ahead and stop you right there. You got to explain yourself. No, you explain yourself.
See, bro, niggas cut me off, not even let me finish. In another
no, you
way,
explained yourself.
You was talking for a while, D.
Because it sound like bullshit.
No,
you explained yourself.
Hold on. Before we kill him, let him get his stuff off, man. Come
There's
on.
nothing to get off.
Hold on. Let him finish.
And honestly, looking back at it, I think if I would have took it, if I would have got him to play those songs, if I would have forced his hand to play those songs in the beginning, it could have swung a different way. But the fact that, I started playing my songs in the first half, and then at the end, I had nothing left to compete with those songs he was playing. It was just kind of like, all right. So I should have strategized how I let them songs off way early. You should have let him throw that hand early.
You done? Is you done?
You lost, nigga.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
First and foremost, like Rick just said, there was a certain point in time where the second half where you were going first, I was still stuck on what Rick was playing. So I thought he was going first. So at a certain point, he literally took over the vibe of the whole battle. And you left no bullshit off. That was a big one.
He left a good bit of songs off.
Ridiculous.
He did. He left
Half
a good
your
bit.
songs shouldn't have been on the 20.
So now,
compared to Don's one mess up versus your second half performance.
15.
You had a worse.
His last 15 was very. You shouldn't have.
How am I?
You had your time to talk. It's time to break this down. Right? So one, this is where you went wrong. You went wrong when you agreed to his Trey Songz battle in the first place. Initially, you should have left it at Usher, but you know, everybody knows you didn't want Usher really. You wanted Trey Songz. You got the battle that you wanted, but you shouldn't have taken it in the first place. So one, you messed up me with Trey Songz in the first place. Trying to play Trey's battle with Chris Brown, you're never going to win. You're never going to win. Trey has his bag. He excels at his bag. You trying to play in Trey Songz's bag, you're gonna lose every time.
Hey, bro, can we move on? I'm sick of this.
I'm
I was
just
so
saying,
disappointed. I was so disappointed. I was disappointed.
You should have just played Chris Brown's bag and you just should have just completely controlled the battle.
Yeah, you gotta control that shit. You got to.
You literally played into his hand and just
like you shouldn't have tried to play sex songs. You should have played songs that were gonna beat the song that was played. That's
Chris Brown's hits. His
would
bangers,
have beat.
His top
He should
songs.
have only won 5 out of those 20. That's just how that should have won. And it's okay.
Yo, did you even play "Give Me That"?
Yeah, he did. He played that.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
you didn't?
Ty,
no.
Now, hold on. Ty, when I went in and when I was planning out, I was going to Ty about some of the songs. Was Give Me That not one of those songs I played. I said, bro, Lil Wayne starting this shit off, that shit would have been hot. And you were like, nah, bro, you can't do that. They say
that's probably why you lost too.
Because
Because we about to see when Ty get washed coming up soon.
There were definitely songs I left off because I consulted, and my consultation was like, nah, that's not it. I was like, all right.
We consulted also. It was just finna beat you regardless.
Hold on. Nah. We ain't about to do that. Because you ain't about to play that on me.
Blamed you.
Put it on me. Like, nah, nigga. Nah.
Any lies being told out my mouth right now?
He had a list of 72 songs, bro. That was like, yo, out of that list of 72 songs.
Like loud as a bitch right now.
My bad.
Screaming in my ear.
72.
He had a list of 72 songs.
You picked that 20?
That's the point. That's why I said at the end of the day, 10 of those 20 should have been there.
So Rick, I'm gonna relieve you.
He's about to sun you.
Right. So one, y'all can't act like some of them songs from Trey Songz, like y'all didn't forget about them. Just like, damn.
I definitely did.
It was a couple. I was like, damn, I forgot about it.
But I know like Ty and E, I know they was like, damn, that shit was a fucking.
When you play Successful, bro, I was like, damn, I forgot about this shit.
Right? The thing is, I was going for Trey Songz. I'm all for the underdog, so everybody was like, yo,
I forgot about J. Cole.
Yeah, he's a liar. Every
time.
How am I a liar?
When did I ever say I'm not?
It's twice. It's twice you come on here bullshit and talk about, oh, I was just.
Can y'all find the evidence that I said that Chris Brown was going to win?
Sure. Give me some.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick intermission. While he finds that, we're just gonna continue on with the rest of the podcast.
I'm not gonna sit here like I didn't play a bullshit track too. I did play a bullshit track. I will say that. And the shit cut off on me right when I played it, and I think it was justifiable because when I played the IG went down, niggas was about to kill me for that shit, honestly. But I thought it was a
What song was that?
LOL smiley face.
No,
yes.
bro.
I'm so glad that shit turned off.
When you started playing that, I said, this nigga's trying to throw out tracks like that. I was gonna go shorty like mine right after that to cut you some slack on that shit.
Oh, that shit would have won.
Yeah.
That shit would have won.
You went kiss out the jump. Continue. We're moving on.
Yeah, so it's funny that the two losers are the only ones talking right now. Y'all should both be quiet. Ooh. Boom. Boom.
A little bit of heat right there. But that was our verse. That was our verse.
Good job, Reek. Hey, Reek. Hey, good job.
Yeah, good job. It's a good one.
Cinderella. Can I be the Cinderella team right now?
You are. You should have only won 5. You're the Cinderella story right now.
Hey, bro, chill out.
Next, so we got a little NBA update. Lou Williams.
Are we going to touch on DMX and Snoop Dogg's live if y'all watch?
Oh yeah. Did anybody watch that? I didn't watch it.
I did.
Yes.
Yes. I didn't watch it. No.
It was actually really. I mean, it was a good battle. Like I thought it was really gonna kind of be a blowout. No disrespect. I mean, that's gonna sound like disrespect.
Full disrespect.
That's disrespectful.
But I mean, look, bro. I'm gonna tell you. We talking about Snoop though. Like, yeah, we talking DMX. But we talking Snoop. Like, but it was way more. They had fun with it. So it didn't really look like a competition in my honest eyes.
I saw most of these verses.
They were just loving the music, bro.
They were in the room together, just
vibing the music,
vibing out. Yep.
literally just vibing to each other. They're like, "Oh, bro, this what you gonna play? Nah, I gotta play my favorite track that I know you rock with." Like that's the type of energy.
I like the fact that Snoop went into his early Snoop Dogg days and he kind of stayed in that bag. Like he didn't play none. Like he didn't lean on Dre to get him the wins. He didn't play Drop It Like It's Hot. Like, well, he did. Like, but I was like later on. Like,
yeah, that was late.
Yeah, so yeah, that shit was good. It's good energy. It's good to see DMX healthy again. That was really nice to see. Snoop is always
that boy let himself go.
Oh, nigga.
DMX, that's
It looked like he
age.
was on
DMX
crack
had been
at
looking.
first.
Yeah.
It looked like he was on crack. So he was.
Yeah,
real
DMX
sick.
was like he was in bad shape, man. Like these past couple of years. So to see him just
But
full again, bro,
jeez.
it's nice
He
to see.
said full.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked
Full.
full. All right.
He was full. He was real full. He
Look,
ain't missing
man,
no meals.
Yo, y'all out of pocket, bro.
Yeah,
He
Out
ain't
of
missing
pocket
no
like a
meals.
motherfucker. Niggas
No
are OD
meals.
out of pocket. All right, NBA update. Lou Williams. Thoughts on Lou Williams and his antics?
He's trying to get.
Man, he was just trying to see some ass.
Lou just want to go see some pussy, man.
Man, look, you know what I'm saying? He got to be on a fucking island for a couple of days in Orlando. He can't leave. Like, come on, son. Like, somebody's bound to leave. He's probably not the first player to do that shit.
What you gotta understand is, bro, he missed the first 2 games, my nigga. The first
scrimmages.
Yeah, they scrimmages, but that's how you set the tone. What you mean?
But nah, no. He played because I could have sworn he missed 2 and 3. I thought he played 1 because he had 22 and 1.
Either way, he lied. He said he needed to go and do something, and nigga was at the strip club. So
he did go and do something.
And let's be honest. He's really putting people in jeopardy. Like that's irresponsible. At the end of the day, like
it is.
Strip club
what is our ass and titties really that much till you're gonna put the whole fucking league in jeopardy?
We're trying to joke, man. We get it. We know it's like not healthy.
I'm just saying.
Joke with us, nigga.
It was funny though. It was funny.
It was
If
funny.
I
And then he tried to lie. That shit was funny because he tried to lie.
Wasn't he with Jack Harlow?
Yeah, he was with Jack
Yeah,
Harlow.
they both lied.
That's what was funny to me.
That picture was old. It was
They was
really
like, he was wearing the mask, and he was like, "Nah, that's an old picture." Like, nigga, they
Like,
just
he had a
gave
mask
you
on.
this.
Yeah,
They
like,
just
I'm
gave you this.
He had a mask on.
All right, so NBA starts 31st, right?
31st.
What's everybody's thoughts?
I'm excited.
scrimmages?
I'm excited.
I mean,
Yeah, because one, I'm just gonna put this on the record. LeBron is looking terrific.
yes, bro.
Anthony Davis.
They
is
lost their
looking
first scrimmage, didn't they?
Terrific.
Nigga,
He played the first half.
I'm just asking.
He played the first half.
Question.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like, niggas can't ask a question.
saying.
Cause he said, cause like damn, like right after we
He did say
praising
it like
LeBron,
that.
he like, yo, they lost their first scrimmage, didn't they?
I'm just saying, like he played the first half, bro. Jeez, I don't know if they wanted to have they should have just been like F it and just kept playing. Because at this point, Bron looked healthy. He looked spry. He looked
I will say,
young.
With the gray beard.
I will say the NBA
With the
has done a
gray.
great job.
With the platinum. First NBA
Bro.
player to do it.
Cause I was nervous when the NBA was coming back, cause I didn't even know how it was gonna go. The premise of it is just like the whole crowd thing, how they're making that work. The commentary is
tough.
still there. Yeah, that shit's tough. Like I thought it was gonna be like, yo, this is terrible. Like,
So
it's no
niggas got the sound effects in the arena, like when you miss
Bro,
free
it's
throws. That shit is
legit.
hilarious.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And
I feel kind of terrible though, cause like
But
I still don't want them to be out there risking like their health to play ball on account
they
of
all
us.
got tested.
everybody
Everybody passed,
tests.
so-
Yeah, 0 tests.
So okay, in the
Came back
NFL,
positive. That's
they
different.
need to stop believing that they're gonna have a season.
That's different.
Because they like
There's no way.
65 players just test positive for corona and they still trying to have a season.
It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of players to opt out. It was a tackle for oh, my fault.
Yeah, no. I was about to touch on that. The tackle from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
opted out.
he opted out his contract, so he's not playing. So I
But
feel like it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of players.
The good thing about that, he's a doctor and he's working up in Canada to try to figure out.
But it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be. He's the first of many to opt out.
Mhm.
Of his contract to forfeit this upcoming season, because a lot of players do not feel safe. They don't feel like the team is taking necessary precautions to actually keep them and their family safe. So I think it's actually gonna be it's gonna be real interesting to see with them returning to their respective facilities and how these upcoming weeks finna go. Cause
it's gonna be impossible for the NFL to have a fucking season. Literally, it's gonna
Same
be
thing with
impossible.
college. Same thing with
It's gonna
college.
be, it's gonna be impossible. It's gonna be
Yeah.
literally impossible.
Some college like leagues have already said like, yo, we're not.
Yeah, the
We're
MEAC,
not.
the MEAC definitely said they canceled
Canceled,
everything.
yeah, but you know the big, you know the Power Five is
Money.
gonna try their
It's money.
best to play, to try to play even just conference games. But
The
I
thing-
don't
the
even
sad-
I don't even think that's finna fly. But hey,
The sad thing
we'll
is,
see.
like with all this, nothing's gonna like really take effect until like somebody passes from it. Like seriously, like
yeah, it's gonna be one of them players that's gonna have asthma or something like that's undercover that they don't know of, and then it's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna get bad. But I mean, I pray to God nobody lose their life, you know, over you know just carelessness of you know these conferences and these leaders and these officials. But hey,
NFL has
I'm excited for the NBA to come back. You know, they seem like they.
Can we make note of how terrible the Washington
Washington football team.
Let's shoot him some bail, though. Let's shoot him some bail because at the I looked a little bit into it. So somebody really did purchase the rights.
I heard
every name that they could
every
have
name.
Like they bought they bought the
Upper.
rights to it. So like they have to figure out
They gonna pay
that
somebody.
situation.
Oh yeah,
so
I
they
get
had to
you.
do it. You know what I mean?
I
They
get
had
it,
to do it.
But it's funny.
That's
It's still funny.
It's
Like, what would you?
hilarious.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what would you have done? You're Dan Snyder. You're the owners. What would you have named them? If every
Tyler,
possible name
The
that was
Redwoods,
really out there,
the Redwoods wasn't a bad name.
but that the guy
Washington
had bought the.
replacements.
He bought every
He bought
single
the
last
Redwoods?
He
name.
literally bought
Bought
every name that could
name
have
that they
been
could
done.
have used.
The Sentinels.
That's smart. That was
Good.
smart.
Yeah, that's
Apparently,
hard.
apparently, that's how Mark Cuban got rich.
Yeah.
Well, and some computer stuff, but we're not gonna worry about that.
That's like 5 different businesses, bro. I learned that from watching Shark Tank.
Yeah. Oh no, Mark Cuban's a genius. But before I forget, I'm gonna just go ahead and bring this up. Baseball did start on Thursday, opening day.
Nobody cares.
Wait, opening day was on Thursday. They, you know, baseballs was flying off the yacht, and WNBA.
That's big.
Oh
That's
yes.
big.
Their stance, like the stance that they're taking, one walking off the floor, you know, during the national anthem while it's being played, and to dedicate their season to Breonna Taylor, who the cops still have not been arrested.
And both
for her
teams
kill.
participating, not just like one side.
But no,
Exactly.
but the WNBA has always been on a
Always.
united front. Their coalition is strong. They're tight knit. So you know, just to see it in action, you know, their season kicked off on Saturday. For those people that weren't aware, you know, definitely go back. Look, like they are standing in solidarity. They're coming out there with a mission, but they're also not, you know, they feel like since, you know, they don't get paid all of this money, like they have to play in order. That's their living. Like they have to play. And
Yeah, that was cold. That was cold.
Yeah.
Oh
Them-
yeah,
them
I'm gonna
hoodies
have
was
to give me
cold.
one of them sweatshirts, bro.
Yeah.
And
So,
Shorty from Oregon,
oh,
I watched her highlights. Yeah, she nice.
ooh, no, she's tough.
She
No,
tough.
she's
She's crazy.
different.
Yeah,
she's
she
crazy.
like she
different.
I was watching her tape and I was like, yo,
Yo, she's crazy. She's crazy.
Like she can
She's
ball.
different.
Like
Yeah,
it ain't
she's
even like
crazy.
she can ball for a girl. No, she can
No, she
ball
can
flat
hoop.
out.
She
Yeah.
can, she could like she.
It's a lot of them like that now that it's not even just like, oh, she can hoop for a girl. No, like now it's a lot.
Thank you.
She can hoop.
Yeah,
That
they fucking
hoop, they're better than a lot of niggas. Like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ain't there a girl from Richmond that's cold as hell?
you talking about Brianna
Uh,
in the store?
oh, Megan.
Megan.
Walker? Yeah,
Yeah.
Megan Walker.
she went to Monacan.
Yeah, I met her
Monica.
the other week when I was with AP, bro. I was like, he told me she in the WNBA. I said, for real?
Oh, she's
He said,
nice.
yeah, she was like,
She's nice.
top
She went
10.
like, she went like top
in her
15.
class.
Yeah,
That's
she's
crazy.
nice. She's nice.
Mikey Williams.
That's somebody.
Talk about Mikey Williams, Reek.
Yeah, so Mikey has finally he dropped down all of his as a sophomore at that. He dropped down all of his recruiting classes that there were schools that recruited him down to 10. And I'm gonna go through the list that he has set.
Hold on, before you say the list. He's a sophomore.
That's what I'm sitting here like I didn't
Wait, what?
Sophomore?
A sophomore.
He dropped his list down to 10 already. He's only
I did not know that, bro.
A sophomore.
his sophomore.
That's a little kid. That's a little kid.
That is crazy.
Dude, bro, y'all remember
His
being
mindset,
sophomores.
bro.
His mindset is crazy.
And his mindset is above a lot of niggas. That's crazy.
Already, bro.
Bro, he's not.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know he was only a sophomore. I thought he was a senior.
No,
He's a sophomore. Do you hear that?
He's not even done growing, bro. Not even.
I'm about to say he might
Go
hit a whole
ahead,
nother
go
growth
ahead, drop the
spurt.
school list, Reek. Go ahead, drop the school list.
All right, so he dropped his list down to 10. The 10 are North Carolina Central. He has Alabama State, State, Kansas, and I believe this is San Diego, South Carolina. No, sorry, Southern California, not South Carolina. Southern California, Memphis, Arizona State, Hampton, and Texas State.
I hope he goes to Memphis.
I have
Memphis. I want
I
Memphis.
hope he goes to
I want Memphis. Penny.
I have Texas State, Tennessee State, and then the last one I'm going with Memphis.
I hope he goes to Memphis.
So
I'm going
going to
with
Hampton.
a reach.
He's
Come
going
to
to
the
Hampton.
home by the sea, man.
Why do you feel like he's going to Hampton, Ty?
He's
Home
not.
by the sea.
I feel like he's going to Hampton.
Why?
Come to the 7
Because this is the thing. Like when you really look at it, like compared to that list, Hampton's not one of them teams that should be there. To be
Why
honest,
do you think that?
it's one of them things where it's like when you look at Hampton, you don't look at Hampton as that school to go to for basketball.
But
So there's a reason
to go through to anything but track, though.
Yeah, but that's the same. But that's what I'm saying. But for a person at that caliber to have that school on his list, it means he's really considering it. Because it's like, there's something
that's
that
genius,
appeals.
though.
That's
To
something
jump off a
genius.
tie-in, though, the reason I really think that as well is because, for one, everybody knows if you're from Virginia, as far as HBCUs, the basketball team that you play for in Virginia is Norfolk State. Like,
Sure.
they're promising every year. They're NCAA tournament team, usually. They have had, like, one of the best HBCU records in, like, the past 10 years of consistency. They're as consistent as it comes when it comes to HBCUs.
I pick Virginia State over Norfolk State as far as basketball. But that's
Norfolk State. No, yo, go look it up, Don.
Tell him, go do your homework.
One, Virginia State is Division II.
Mm-hmm.
That's two different different levels of competition. Number two, we just started kind of like getting on the streak of good basketball, bro. Lonnie, the coach at Virginia State he's doing a great job, but this was like 4 years ago.
And Rob Jones.
Maybe that's what it is.
So
maybe that's what it is.
They just got a recruit, a transfer. I want to say it was from some big FBS school. They just got the number 4 player on the East region that just committed to Norfolk State as well. He's a 4-star recruit and everything. So like it's happening, yo.
But I personally feel like if he does pick Hampton, it's because he would be going there alone. In basketball being a sport where you could technically be that one person to dominate and change a team. And he could literally cement himself if he chooses to stay past 1, he chooses to stay all 4, like whatever he decides to do. Once he gets to that stage, I'll pray for healthy high school career. I pray nothing happens to him. I pray everything stays on, like he stays on his path of just dominance and health. And hey, wherever he decides to go, he has time. Wherever he decides to go. He could, depending on how his development goes, he could probably be one of them game changing players.
Here's another thing too, Don.
Hold on. Go ahead. Like 10 seconds.
Here's another thing. Hampton is no longer part of the MEAC either. They're part of the Big South. Growing. Yeah. So the schools that he got listed, besides Central, none of them are like HBCU conferences. They're the conferences that HBCUs love to join. So those are the only schools he's had listed on there.
Good point.
Yeah. Big South in basketball? Sheesh.
Bradford.
Sheesh.
Serena Williams and her daughter. I want to touch on it right quick.
Black Wealth. Something that as 20 to 30-year-olds, we should strive to build
empires,
financial stability. We should just look towards building, like you just said, empires, so that when we get to a certain age, our kids will be fine.
Set.
And when our kids get to a certain age, their kids will be fine. That generational wealth.
Yeah.
That's what we. That's what that Shout out to her.
Hey,
Love
D,
her.
say that name
Love
one more
her.
time, bro. Generational wealth. Say that one more time, bro.
Generational wealth.
That shit right. That word right there, bro.
Gifts.
That phrase.
That's
Everybody
big.
should be striving for that.
Serena, man. Serena been a game changer. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's big though.
She doesn't, bro. She doesn't get. You talk about somebody that don't get enough credit. Serena does not get enough credit. What she does off of the tennis court. What Serena does off of the tennis court, she does not get that credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
The stuff that she do for Compton, the stuff she does outside of tennis, ridiculous, bro.
All right, let's get to it.
Cole.
Jermaine. Jermaine.
Go ahead, Darian.
Cole.
Listen,
Young
man.
Simba.
I'm telling y'all, and I've told you before, I will tell you again. Fire. That's it. When Cole comes and mind you, niggas didn't know it was gonna be a 2-pack like this. The way he dropped it, it was like, okay, one song, cool. 2, didn't know it was coming. Seen it on Instagram, 10 o'clock, was ready. Played it all night. There's nothing much to be said, really. It's Cole.
It did something for your soul, right?
I damn near, fam. I haven't felt this emotional about music in a while.
Since Kirk Franklin dropped New World Project.
I ain't gonna say that. Last time I was emotional about music, it was when you said Kirk Franklin, it was when Fred Hammond and
Kirk Franklin did their verses.
Verses. That's the last time I felt this way about music. So yeah, this touched the soul.
Nazir, go ahead.
I ain't got nothing to say, bro. Like
Perfect.
Perfect. No, I will say when you hear from artists like J. Cole or just like anybody in the top trios of like J. Cole or like Kendrick or they just have an
specific
effect.
J. Cole and Kendrick.
Yeah, specific J. Cole and Kendrick. When you hear from those artists, it's refreshing to hear content like that. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole is just one of those people that he just stops the world. Everybody wants to know what what he has to say because he's that personable. So to hear him in this bag and what he's talking about, bro, and he just sounds like he's getting better. Like it's exciting.
Crazy. It's
and
crazy.
This album that's coming, I think he's going to separate himself from a lot of people.
The fall off. I'm extremely excited. Extremely excited. You know what? I feel like it's about to be one of the masterpieces. Like when Hov dropped The Blueprint and Stop the World on 9/11, and it just was like, no, I'm just saying though.
Emphasis on
is that when he dropped that?
He dropped
The
Blueprint.
That's why I was like, chill.
On 9/11.
On 9/11, bro.
And stopped the world.
Jay-Z a nasty nigga for that.
Music.
That's
he didn't know.
I mean,
that's fair. He didn't know. That's fair. That's fair. I'm thinking he dropped it like after all the shit happened.
No,
he dropped it on
like,
9/11.
Damn, like that's nasty.
9/11 happened.
Okay.
That morning, and then niggas.
So it's Jay-Z's fault.
Yo, are you good? Are you good?
Wait, hold on. That's when the Illuminati shit started. When that shit happened.
all three.
We're not diving into that. Logic. Ion. Go ahead.
Bobby.
Tarantino.
Bobby.
Young Sinatra.
Come on, man. Come on. I gotta go. I'm leaving.
You should have shut the door.
When it comes to Logic, man.
His little legs go away.
When it comes to Logic, man, he announced his retirement. Announced this will be his final album. This album, I think last week, I said that Juice WRLD was my album of the year take. I'm walking that back.
Just a week ago.
I'm not walking that back. I'm not walking that back because I think that Juice WRLD is that far under. I'm just saying I got to go with Logic over Juice because Logic came, man. You can tell Logic's finally happy, man. I think a lot of times we joke. About, wanting artists to go back to that hurt state that they were in to make the music that they want. I think we did a take on that last
week. We did.
But he listened.
Like one of the bigger ones is like Bryson Tiller.
He listened. Yeah.
Like Bryson Tiller wanting him to be sad. No, man, that guy's in love. That guy's happy, man. Like it's happy. That's a different feeling. That's Chance. That's a different feeling, man.
Yep.
To be that happy, to be
And
happy,
make music.
and genuinely not give a fuck about what anybody thinks about you. That is a space where I think we all try to strive to get to. And realizing what's important, man. Family. It's family over everything.
Over it all.
Over
I
everything.
think that music's more beautiful.
And I think in a society where we sort of hold other things above that, it's refreshing to see that Logic sees and knows what's important. You know?
Yeah.
One of the biggest things, like my brother said, he beat the game, man. Logic beat the game. And that's just the way to put it. He beat the game, and in that album, he picked the perfect producer.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
he rode that bitch to the moon.
All the fucking way.
Dog, like
to the moon, man.
To go out how you come in.
Yeah.
To go out how you come in and do it so successfully and execute it so well.
He is itching right now to talk. Look at him.
I have no words because Logic literally
it's an incredible true story.
He reminded me, and I told y'all this when it came out. He reminded me why he is one of my favorites of our decade, the last decade. He took me back to the first place where I heard and realized, yeah, this nigga nice. And throughout his career, I was reading some stats and stuff, man, and he's had a very up and down career with his projects. But to go out on a high, and like Ion said, man, I promise y'all, social media, Twitter, Instagram, all that shit don't matter. When you get to a place where you don't look at likes, you don't look at follows, you don't look at retweets, you really don't give two shits about that stuff, and you really find passion and peace, it's like he said, you said we all strive to get there. We don't all strive to get there. Everybody don't want to get to that place. But when you do start to strive to get there, you're going to realize this is really how shit is supposed to be. I can't wait for other people to really start to get into that mold of dropping all this extra shit in the world. But Bobby did his thing, man. It album of the year for me right now. That's just how I'm feeling.
And I'm right there with D. Album of the year for me, hands down. Reek, I know what you said. That's for now, because we might still have some to come. But personally, for me, bro, I don't think there's anybody that could top this for me. This is for me personally. Logic is in my top 5 personally of my generation. He speaks a different.
Even after Cole drops.
Huh?
Even after Cole drops.
We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that when we get there.
Even after Cole drops.
He's saying personally for him.
Personally for me, because Logic speaks on a lot of things that like I said, I listen to. I'm with D. I can listen to all types of music, but I probably won't really like it if I don't feel for it and I don't
find a connection to it.
Yeah,
wait. Authenticity.
Okay, yeah. So like with Logic, nice word. So with Logic, a lot of his things, I'm really, really big on mental health. So yes, a lot of his songs might be kind of gimmicky with the stuff that he talked about with mental health, but it's a serious matter, bro. Like everything that he says, and a lot of it I see in Logic from this album, he's overcome. And it's great. It's a great thing to see. Like it's an amazing thing to see, bro. His anxiety, it looks like he's over it. He's past it. He's happy. Like, nigga, to say that you're going out on retirement to make sure that you can take care of your child, it's like, damn, I'm mad because you're done.
Yeah. Pissed off.
But
Very sad.
I'm so happy for you, bro.
Yep.
And I'm glad you ended it the way that you ended it. And
I still don't think he's done though.
Yeah,
I'm about to say Jay-Z called retirement a long time ago,
no.
too.
Y'all need to go watch. he does it when he drops an album. He does interviews with this specific. I think it's a guy on Hard Knocks. Go watch these. Go watch this interview that he started with this guy. He's done. He's done putting his albums out. Now he said.
Go ahead, D.
He said he's gonna be working on other things, books, TV. He's got comics. He has a whole label.
I'm about to say he still.
He said you'll see us in other endeavors for sure.
Yeah, but like as far as him putting out albums, no, bruh is really
not albums, but like
I'm okay with that.
I will. I think I'm gonna see him on like features. You know what I'm saying? He'll pop up.
I'm okay. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm okay with artists going out.
Bobby Tarantino's, you're not getting no more than
Incredible. Yeah, we're not getting none of that.
He'll pop up just as much as Andre 3000 pops up.
Exactly.
Ooh,
for
man.
Sure. It's a great comparison in my honest opinion. I don't know if you're comparing it, but that's what I can see that happening, bro. Because, and I'm gonna leave with this. My favorite track, honestly, was A to Z.
A to Z.
That was amazing. That shit was amazing. That shit was amazing.
That shit was just fire. AD, right there was 44 bars on that album, bro. That was 44 bars.
I don't know. I don't know.
You said, wait,
I'm gonna tell you this.
Say that again.
He said that was his 44 bars on this album.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Five hooks.
I don't
Five
think he has another
hooks.
44 bars.
No, five hooks was his 44 bars on this.
Five hooks was his 44 bars. It was just like, and it was he was waiting for it too. He was just like, you know what, man?
Todd does not look enthused at all.
Give me another one.
Oh, so let's talk. I would like to address. I was going
to get to it because I was going to say my piece about the album. Then I was going to get to what.
Before Ty goes, can I get my take? Because y'all know he going to say whatever, and I'm like, I still want to focus on the greatness of Logic real quick.
For sure, go ahead.
But yeah, man, this album, I was just talking to Ty. Like I listened to it and I've been listening to it and I've been trying to digest it. I feel like this is for me from a writer's standpoint. This album is such a long way to the fact that like I'm still in a point where I'm still trying to digest the album.
Agreed.
Like to fully understand and like really be conscious of the art that he just laid out in front of us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go as far as y'all saying like. To me, I'm not gonna say yet because I haven't been able to really digest the album that's the best so far. Because in my opinion, I'm still rocking with Jay Electronica album. That shit to me, I still listen to that every day on daily rotation.
You talking about the Jay-Z album?
Yeah,
the Jay-Z album.
Yeah,
Jay Electronica.
It's a little biased,
on,
but
bro.
yeah.
You talking about the Jay-Z album? Okay.
But yeah,
featuring Jay Electronica.
It's really. You know, like it's like damn. I hate when we get to the point where we see our artists drop this project and it's like, yo, this shit is just so magical. And it's like, yeah, this is it for me. And it's like, damn.
This is the first artist that I've like loved that's retired. Like out of the generation that I came into listening to rap and hip hop, he's the first one to say, yeah, I'm done. Like Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Wale, Sean, they're all still putting out music, you know?
I feel like this preparation, it's like a prequel to what's coming next for us as far as artists going into retirement. You know what I'm saying? Because from reading whatever Cole said the other day, I don't know what to think anymore after this last album. But yeah, go ahead, go on now.
If Cole
retires, bro, I might actually fucking cry.
I'm gonna be sick.
I'm gonna be sick.
If retires is just
like damn
green light for me to start rising.
Didn't he try to say that on the track on DJ Khaled?
He said it a couple times, bro. He said it a couple times, and I don't know how serious he is.
He said he was contemplating retirement on DJ Khaled's song on Jermaine's Interlude.
Yeah.
Hey, what you got? What you think about the album?
Just I just want to say I'm proud of Logic. I won't say I'm the biggest. Feel like everyone in here is pretty much a bigger fan than me of Logic. I've been an avid listener of Logic. I won't say that I really liked everything he dropped, but just from Under Pressure up until The Incredible True Story, those shits was flawless. The Bobby Tarantino tapes, those shits was flawless. The last couple ones he's dropped recently, I just couldn't connect with, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like he just went a different direction, and I think that's where a lot of questions come in for Logic is his authenticity, like y'all just spoke of the whole, because he's so gimmicky. So at sometimes it's just when he came out with the mental, and it was kind of hard. Like after that first track, he just kind of stayed in that lane, and it was kind of hard for me to connect because it's just like, how serious are you really about this, But after, I think him ending his career the way he's ending it right now is you could tell he's, like you say, he's in a better place. He's happy. Like he just wants to be a fucking dad. Like how can you be upset at that? You know, so as a fan, I can't tell you like, no, you could do like, you know, you could rap and be a dad at the same time. Like, no, bro, you're a father. You have the absolute right to just step away from the game right now and just be happy. You know what I'm saying? So I still don't think he's gonna fully retire. He's gonna be in the spotlight somehow.
Yeah,
he's gonna stick around.
Just know whatever book comes out, I'm copping it.
Have you read Supermarket?
Mm-hmm.
I might have to read it. I didn't get a chance to.
It's definitely worth it. It's better than that. I'll say.
Good luck, Logic. Hope to see you around in other endeavors for sure.
Ty?
But Ty, not to get on you, but I just want to know what your perspective on Logic and why you can't.
So for me, I didn't grow up
I don't even want
with
to hear
Logic.
it for real.
No, I mean, I do. I didn't grow up on Logic. So when I found Logic, it was in that 2 albums that you just spoke of where he was like really gimmicky and I couldn't connect with him. So I didn't listen to the only song that I've listened to that stuck with me was 44 Bars. So I was like, all right, he can spit. But even when I went back and tried to listen to his first album, it didn't connect with me for some reason. I just like, yo, I just can't. Because
you saw him where he was at. Now you didn't start to where you
so for
saw
everybody,
grew to.
Exactly. Everybody else grew with him and like listened to him. Like I call him, I guess, in a bad time. But this album is very good. It's a very good album. It's a very good rap album. It's not album for the year for me because I don't have like any personal ties to Logic. I'm glad.
No ID killed them samples. All the samples.
Oh man,
that shit was hard,
crazy. But no, I definitely respect his choice of retiring. Always put your family first, for sure. But no, I don't have any crazy takes about Logic. Like I don't hate Logic. I respect him. I respect him for what he is.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think you hated him. I just wanted to see.
The way you was talking, I thought we was gonna have to.
No.
I didn't even say anything. That's what I'm saying.
I know everyone loved the album, so like I know you thought different. So I wanted to get your perspective.
I know it's a very good album. Yeah, when I listened to it, I was like, yo, he's going crazy on these tracks.
When y'all speak of gimmicks, speak more on that. Like, what do you mean? What was gimmicky about Logic?
He didn't like who he was because he's been very transparent through his career.
That's why I'm confused. I'm confused on what they mean by him being gimmicky.
No, like when I say being gimmicky, it's like when you stay like when he came out with the suicidal the Hotline song. I forgot. I can't remember.
1-800. Yeah.
It just seems like he kind of like to me stayed in that lane because he knew it worked for him for a little bit.
Because that's what he was going through. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's just like
I was like maybe maybe I dropped the ball on that. Maybe because I wasn't so personable of Logic. I didn't really know his personal life. I didn't know how serious he was about that.
He actually had a lot of suicidal thoughts, and what better way to get the suicide hotline out there?
Make us, dude.
And it was a good song.
It was
like I said, maybe I dropped the ball on that like particular part of Logic. Maybe that's why I thought because I'm like, okay, every time I hear a song, because and then the other stuff with the biracial bars, it's like, okay, like
so and I know a lot of people.
Yeah, is he black?
Yes, his dad is black.
His mom is white.
So he's not.
No. Wait. That's what I'm saying. This is my thing. So since Logic, his appearance, he looks like he's white.
Right.
So he got it out there. He put it out there. Yo, I'm biracial. I just look white. So he was getting a lot of backlash for using the N-word, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was getting backlash for that.
No, because they was like, dude, you're white. Why are you?
Because they swore he was white.
So he had to literally come out and use this time to say, yo, I'm biracial. This is what I'm going through. And then he has to get his story out there. And people just didn't like him getting his story out there because it's justified. His story is justified. Everything he did was justified. So it's just like, dude, we don't care. You look white, so you shouldn't use it. J. Cole's biracial. But if he was to come out, and say, hey, I'm biracial, I can do this. My mom's white and my dad's dude, it doesn't matter. J. Cole literally did the same thing in For Your Eyes Only, rapping about him being biracial. So it's just like they only pick and choose who they want to pick on and who they want to he looks white. He should.
Yeah, I've
blah,
never
blah.
been like
This nigga
Drake
never
done the
like
same
followed
thing.
the,
This nigga spit.
the
Drake
He
biracial.
definitely pod.
Drake biracial literally has done the
Exactly.
same thing. So it's just
Definitely
like
Drake has done the same thing.
they pick and choose.
I used to
so
be
it's
teased
just
for
like
being black, but now I'm here and I'm not black enough.
bro. So for me,
Yeah.
like Logic has literally been transparent through his entire
whole
career. His entire career has been transparent with his fans, with the people. He's come out, he's spoken his mind, he's put in his music, he's told his story, and he's executed his story very well. I don't care if you want to say, oh, he's just another Eminem type, oh, he's just a Jordan Lucas, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. Logic has stayed in his, in his pocket, he has stayed. Bro, it'll be
Hold on. Let him get his shit off. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Logic has literally stayed true to himself. He's been very open with his anxiety. He's helped a lot of people. He's literally done everything people praise rappers for. That's what I'm saying. People praise rappers for, but just because he looks the way he looks, people don't give that man his just due. And they're not going to do it until he's dead and gone from this world. And then people going to be like, oh, we should have appreciated Logic while he was here. No,
suck a dick.
Logic, bro. Logic has done his thing. He has put out the great music. He stayed consistent. I mean, granted, everybody's not going to have 20 great projects, 20 great albums, whatever. So he's had his ups and downs. He's bounced back every single time.
Fact.
And kudos to him. I'm glad he's walking away on a high note. He's doing it happy. XYZ. I could care less what anybody has to say about Logic and his slander and his gimmicks and whatever. Like, bro, he freestyled and did a Rubik's Cube at the same time. And
so full court shot right there. Full court shot. That was great.
I wanted to figure out where between E and Ty, and I'm not attacking you all. I just wanted to see what gimmicks you meant. Because when you say gimmicky, first person I think of is Eminem. And Eminem's gimmicky because of the shit he talks about in his raps.
He has to be gimmicky.
The nasty, the disgusting, the one track he ended up like acting like he was Michael Jackson when he got his hair on fire on a Pepsi commercial. That's gimmicky to me. Not necessarily making a suicide hotline track.
So for me, I don't know enough about his music to say he's gimmicky. So I didn't say
I wasn't making it like Logic is gimmicky. Like I'm not branding him that. I just said like some things I thought were gimmicky.
Yeah. And I just was wondering what things you all were.
Yeah.
No. For me, I just
didn't know that you had never. I didn't know the first thing you heard of Logic's
was
the trash albums.
I heard the trash albums, and then somebody was like, "Yo, listen to 44 bars." And I heard 44 bars. I was like, "Oh, he could spit." And then when I went back and tried to listen to the album, I was like, "I can't get the sound of what." Yeah, exactly.
I understand.
So the only thing, the last thing I would say is I really think people kind of also look past how much of a great and creative storyteller Logic is because his album. From Incredible True Story, bro. The timeline of that, like I felt like I was watching a fucking
movie.
Like, literally, his
and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much because like he was taking me on a journey, like literally.
A movie. It's been and we've just taken the steps to walk with this man and watch the picture that he's painting and the creation that he's creating. And it's literally a beautiful thing, dog.
If you also listen to everybody thought everybody was not that great of an album. It really good, bro. Like the waiting room, it's not even a song, but that shit is just a man. Like I'm sitting here contemplating everything, just thinking about life. Like, damn.
And then you got Neil deGrasse Tyson as God. Like that was like
crazy, bro.
Who doesn't even believe in God? I'm pretty sure. So you got him to do something that he don't even really believe in, just out of the creative space the creative mind that you have. I think that is a good little segue into the mental health talk that we're about to have, though.
Yeah, so pause.
So she's a marriage counselor and she's a okay. That's
the focus. I believe if I read it right, that was the focus.
That's my plan when I get back into school.
How old is she?
That's dope.
25.
Age.
Yeah.
20 what?
25.
My age.
25?
25, yes. So we're about to bring a guest on. Her name is Key. She's the founder of Key Talks Therapy. Social media, mental health brand for all people, but specifically for Black people. And she's a student at Atlanta, Georgia. And she goes to Mercer University. So let's go ahead and bring her in.
I had a really good catch against Mercer. Probably my best catch of my
I
career.
had an interception.
One of my
Yeah,
few.
no, I got blown. Mercer was by far my worst games in my career.
I got an
Really?
interception.
Always.
Believe that.
Always.
Best game. I
Always.
sauced.
Like
Good
that.
afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. How you doing?
Great. So I already gave you a little introduction, but if you wanted to speak on yourself right quick, it's like a little 30-second, just say like, why do you feel like, therapy is important? What got you into it? Stuff like that.
Oh, that's that's heavy for 30 seconds. But yeah, so
No, take your time.
my
You
name
good.
is and yeah, so I think mental health is important in general, like the same as physical health. The only difference is people don't take mental health as serious as physical health, which I mean, I could see it making sense because physical is tangible. We touch things, and people believe what they can see. But emotions are like, they're questionable sometimes. Like people feel like they can question your emotions or how you feel about certain things or why you feel that way. And they need answers to it. And so there's a difference in saying I hurt my knee because I fell off a bike, and saying you hurt my feelings when you said this. So yeah, I think I'm into therapy because not only is it important for everyone, but it's important for Black people to have a space to be able to express their emotions, especially because we carry trauma in our DNA. And so there are a lot of things that we feel and we don't know why. And so talking that out may bring understanding for that. So
Appreciate it. So what we're really going to talk about today is just dive into Kanye's whole mental health thing, like what we've all seen, like what are all of our thoughts, and then we're going to talk about like the support system, like the importance of having a great support system. So yeah, it's gonna be a general conversation. But since I'm the person who has the most like heat for Kanye, I guess I'll pop it off. For me, I guess I don't necessarily understand Kanye's whole story like everybody else. Like when we were talking about it last week, I didn't know that he blames himself for his mom's death. It's one thing I did not know. So I mean, I look at it in a totally different light now because I'm like, all right, imagine walking
I have a
around
whole
with
take about that too.
Yeah, imagine walking around with that much pain and like feeling like you've caused the death of the person who birthed you,
the one person you love.
what happened to her?
She died on the operating table, I believe. Plastic surgery she was getting, and he paid for it. And she wanted it, and he paid for it, and she ended up dying from complications of that.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's literally that's why I'm always an advocate for Kanye. It's like, because I could never imagine carrying that weight. You can tell me, hey, it's not your fault. Hey, you didn't do it. Hey, this happened. It doesn't matter. You can tell me that I'm going to carry this feeling, this burden for the rest of my life. And that's never an excuse for the things he says. But at the same time, it's like, I can't imagine being in that mind space. So I'm not going to critique you on the nut shit that comes out of your mouth. And you gave me classic albums as well. So
what was Kanye like before this? Because I'm not like super into music. Like, so I know some of his old songs and stuff, but I didn't know Kanye in the way that people.
He's always been that.
He's been outspoken. He's always been the guy.
He's always been outspoken, but it's been in a different light. He's always been a very creative individual. He was very much, before he even really started rapping, he was just
confident
on being a producer, and he was a poet. Like majority of his music comes from his poetry. So looking into his poetry, which is what his mom got into. His mom was very big into civil rights things as well, and she was an activist as well. So he has that in him, in that DNA, to be outspoken, to be all over the place sometimes, but it was definitely controlled, and you can see that his mom kept him in place with a lot of things. Like, look, you're doing a little too much. Hold on.
She passed in 2007.
Yeah. So
and ever since then, it's kind of been.
I mean, after 2007, he's been.
That's one thing. Yeah. So a lot of people said that his downfall, like his start to his downfall of albums, was 808 and Heartbreaks. Like a lot of people,
which is nuts to say.
I love that
which is
album.
insane to say.
A lot of people don't like it, but personally, it's my favorite album of Kanye, strictly because it's the most emotional album he's ever had. And I felt for that with everything that he says, because me personally, I've lost my mom.
I'm about to say, you definitely connect with him on that.
I'm not saying I agree with what he said recently, what he, anything political wise or what he's been talking about, none of that. But from a person standpoint, from a Black man having a single mother and being an only child, I know where he's coming from. That shit is difficult. That shit is unbearable. Like, niggas don't know. I'm not gonna say they don't know, but a lot of people don't understand what it takes to go with dealing with losing the only person that you can talk to, open up to, express your emotions to, and just be you. The only person that knows you for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else can say, yeah, I know him. I know how he is. No, you don't. No, you don't. Not like
to the core.
Not like this person right here. Like, so I'm not about to talk to you. I'm not about to communicate to you, especially somebody who feels like everybody is temporary in your life. That's difficult. That's hard to deal with. So when he came out with 808 and Heartbreaks, emotionally, I was just like, I'm here with you, bro. Like, Coldest Winter, if y'all ever get a chance, go back and listen to Coldest Winter and listen to the emotion in his voice when he sings that song. It's strictly all about his mom, losing his mom. And it's facts. Memories are made in the coldest winters. Like, he felt hurt. He was done, like, everything. So it's a very, I'm emotional when it comes to that, when it comes to Kanye. So.
And to speak to that, I was listening to Joe Budden's podcast. I know we're not really supposed to plug everybody else, but
shout out to JVP.
We all listen to Joe Budden's podcast. So, he put it in perspective for me when he spoke about Kanye, and he said this one thing that stuck with me. He said that Kanye has always felt like he was never wanted, and he saw that when he spoke about his dad at the rally. When he spoke at his dad, he said that his dad, he said, my dad never wanted me. And he was like, when you think about that, and you think about how hard he is trying to get into these corporations that keep rejecting him, they never talk to him. Fans, they fall out because of shit he's talking about. And then you have that, and then connected with losing his mom, the only person that he truly loved and that loved him back is gone on account of what she wanted, and he felt like he contributed to that.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
I can't imagine how that could really like
affect
you down as a person.
Mindset. Yeah.
That could really affect your mindset.
Yeah, especially when you don't truly get help. You go to the doctors and they put you on these prescriptions to control your emotions and to kind of depress everything that you're feeling. So you're not supposed to feel like this, and it's just trying to calm you down, and you so hyped up on meds, and it's just like, yo, you haven't truly gotten the help that you need. And especially like being a Black man in his position, and you having people look up to you and the pressure that he's dealing with. Personally, if he walked away from music today and just said, I'm done, I'm going to get help, I'm done making music, I'm done producing tracks, I'm done with everything, go ahead, do you. Go, get the help that you need. And if you come back to this space, I want you to come back to this space level-headed, clear-minded, weight lifted off your shoulders. Like, you're no longer carrying this pain inside of you that you've never dealt with. And the only way that you can get it out, yes, probably one outlet is music, but to a point, when does your passion turn into pain? And when does making music for you just feel like heartache? And it's crazy. It's crazy the way, people just take a moment, like they get prisoners of the moment and take a moment for a person, or a few moments for a person, and just talk about what they're doing at that
5-second clip.
Yeah, that specific moment in time.
Yeah.
And it's just like the multiple 5-second clips that have come up post 2007, and people just want to pick out the bad stuff, and you try to put out the music.
He's a very brilliant dude.
You try to produce the tracks, you try to put out the music, you try to take people's minds away from. That's what I'm saying. You trying to take away from people's, that negative perception that people have on you, and it's just like you can't, because another 5-second clip comes up because you haven't truly dealt with, and you haven't truly healed the way that you were supposed to be, and then since your body's used to these meds and now you're off of them, you said, I'm not taking these meds no more.
All meds,
it's poison. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's poison to your body. Now you're off, and now you have to deal with everything, and the outbreaks get bigger, and the moments become 10-second clips and 2-minute clips, and you just try to confide in people that these aren't the right people that you're supposed to be confiding in. And I truly just want him to get to a place in his life where he's comfortable enough to truly deal with the hurt and pain that he has. And I seriously want him to come to a moment of peace without having to feel like you have to take your own life to gain that peace. So,
what's your take of what you've seen from him recently?
So I can only really deal with the facts. I'm a person who, I mean, for one, I don't engage myself in a lot of celebrities' lives because I'm not with them on a day-to-day basis. Dealing with celebrities' lives is almost the same as people coming to you in session. So people give you what they want to give you, for one, and then you only get them for a brief moment. So in the way that therapy is, it's like, I can only help you with the things that you bring to our 50-minute session. Because I'm not with you 24/7. So there's a whole lot of other 50 minutes that you live in life, and I don't know what's going on. So when the Kanye thing came out, I was just like a little irritated, because now I'm like, here we go again with something different. And then people were saying like he's bipolar, he has mental health issues. And so, okay, so that's facts. That's a factual thing.
Bipolar 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was true. Didn't really want to know if it was true, so I didn't look it up. But when I watched one of the clips, it was almost like he was in mania. Like, I was like, okay, so that's not far off. What people are saying, it wouldn't be far off, because he looks like he's having a moment right now. And so at the same time that I feel like I put pressure on him, it was like, where is the support system? Like, where are the people that love you? Because I'm sure that my mom or the people, because that's my support system. So in his case, it would be his wife or his manager or the people that care about him would come and snatch me off the stage and be like, even though I'm however many years old, this is not beneficial to him or the audience. Like, this is not beneficial. And so I have a lot of questions. And maybe that's just the therapist in me, but because I don't know a lot, I just question a lot. So my first question is, who planned this out? Who said, yeah, we're gonna do this?
Him?
My second thing was, what was the plan? Like, what did y'all say was gonna be discussed? Why is he now running for president? Like, why is this even a thing? Why is this even a thing?
It's even worse that people are taking that seriously.
It's very serious.
That part when they shouldn't.
That's what's really bothering me. Like, what is happening? But like, honestly, even as a therapist, the whole 2020 has been giving me what is happening.
Yeah, literally.
Like, I feel like every month is just something new. And so when the Kanye thing happened, I was just like, yo, I don't know at this point.
What you got? Muted himself.
Yeah, he did unmute it. Go ahead, big dog.
He got something to say. He got something to say. Let me go ahead and sit back.
Nah, I just think with Ye, man, for somebody who like looked up to Ye, it's kind of hard watching, you know, one of the few celebrities that you admired because of their work sort of spiral, because that's what's happening. You know, I think it's just hard being Kanye in general. You know, like that guy got a lot of power, a lot of influence. He's pretty much everything he touched goes gold. Artists, music, fashion, whatever happens, like whatever he gets into, whatever endeavor Kanye gets into, he's gonna win in it. And I think that's a blessing and a curse. You know, on top of his mom, on top of that situation, you have that, and combine that with like the smallest amount of narcissism. Like it's like detonating TNT, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So when he's in these wild, sporadic moments, I just try to listen to what he's trying to say. You know, like he's not gonna relay it the best. It's not gonna be what everybody wants to hear. I always look to see if there was any lies in what he said. To be honest, there still hasn't been one. It may not, people don't want to hear it at this time, but it's still not lies. It's just, you know, it's all about being, for lack of a better term, politically correct. When things are going on in our culture, we will tend to, if the wrong thing is said, we will tend to not want to take the time to like see, okay, was he saying what I think he was saying, or should I like go back and listen to it again and try to figure out what he's saying? Which is fine because emotions are very unstable. It's one thing that I've learned. You know, when you're emotional, when a culture of people is emotional, which we are right now, we're very emotional. I think the slightest thing can, it's like like you say, turn an ant mountain to a mountain, pretty much. Mountain out of a molehill from South Carolina country, you know.
Jenkinsville.
Stand
up. Stand up.
Yeah. But yeah, I just it sucks, man. It sucks to watch.
Nazir, you want to touch on it?
No, I ain't got nothing to say.
Quick question for you, Key. How important is it to have a support system, like just in general?
Very. Everybody needs help. Like everybody needs help. If anybody has ever said they made it in life without help, they're lying. Like they're literally telling a bald-faced lie. We all need help, even if it's getting something out the car and something falls and you need to get it into the building quick, fast, in a hurry, and you need somebody to help you. You need help. Like even like the smallest thing, somebody has helped you. And when it comes to situations like this, I think that having the support system is important because they know you. And so, like he was just saying, Ian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you were just saying, you were saying like people should look into it and basically be like, is this what he's really trying to say? And I think that's harder for people when they don't know him. And so for people like me, I don't have any connection to him. Like I feel like I have empathy for everyone. But if someone comes out and says something, I normally take it for face value because that's just what you said. I don't really try to like read into it unless I know you and I'm like, you know, like, what did you mean by that? But in situations like this, it's not like we can jump through the phone and be like, what did you mean by that? So I think it's important for people, his support system, to come back and be like, this is what he meant, or this is, you know, how it should have been interpreted. Because even if the people come back and be like, nah, he said what he said, they already said this is what he meant. So at the end of the day, either you gonna take it or leave it. But if you just say something and then leave it at that, in the middle of a racial crisis, in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of people, you know, dying everywhere, people, like you're saying, emotions are high. People can't grieve properly. So when you come out and say things, certain things on top of the fact that there have been past things, it's like, what else? Like, I have a hard time trying to read through your lines because I'm already just stressed. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, support systems are always important, and it's something that I mean, I won't say all therapists ask, but I feel like they should be asking, do you have one? And if you don't, then they need to be finding you resources for finding a support system, because that's when you start getting into like worthiness of things and am I enough for things, and you start getting into like suicidal territory, because if you don't have anyone where you feel like a place where you feel you can go, then you start thinking about things of like, do I belong here? Where do I belong, if I belong? Things like that. So, and even I've never been a celebrity, and I don't know if I want to, but I imagine that it's very lonely, because even though a lot of people love you, they love the version of you that they think you are. And so even in saying that, it's like, do they really love you? Because they don't really know you at all, for real.
They just love what they think they know.
Right.
That's
my character
of where I'm saying, because there are a lot of people that say, you know, for Kanye, he's not alone. He's not by himself. He has Kim.
She ain't being too much of help.
Hold on.
You don't know.
I ain't gonna let you do that.
No,
I ain't gonna let you do
She has
that.
been helping.
I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that.
I'm glad. Okay, so no. I'm glad.
Come on, you're Don.
No. I want
I'm talking to Don.
I want to clarify. I'm gonna clarify
Don,
what I just said.
bird.
That's what I'm saying. I want to clarify what I just. I'm clarifying what I just said. Personally, as your spouse, as your so-called better half,
I've got something to say too.
I'm supposed to technically be, you know, somebody that is supposed to be your support system. And if we're in this partnership together, if we're in this equal partnership together, no, it is not my job to make you happy. You have to find happiness within yourself, and then we together have to grow being happy. Yes, that is true.
Shout out to Will Smith.
But if me as supposed to be basically at this time in your life, your number one support system, I shouldn't be putting you in situations where you're crying out for help and I'm not getting that help for you.
Hold on.
I feel like situations should be minimized, and not necessarily my life should go on hold, but I should be there for you when you most need me, and vice versa. And I personally don't feel like she's truly been there for him in moments where he truly needs her. Without him having to say it, just I should be able to see. If I'm your better half, I should be able to see you need help. You don't need to say anything. I should be actively getting you help, keeping you out of the spotlight for you to tarnish or for anybody to touch you. I should be your shield. I should be your protection. I should be the one taking the fire. And hey, you're fine. You're gonna be good. I'm gonna get you whatever you need, and I'm gonna keep you out of this spotlight for the world to rip you apart. That's my opinion. Now, however else,
Nazir,
you know, that's my opinion.
Nazir, go ahead.
I'm gonna help you out even further, Don. I'm gonna help you out even further. First things first. Does he have a support system? Yes. But is it a support system that he needs? No. One thing when it comes with being a support system, the type of people that you want in your support system, you want people in your support system that care about you as much as they care about themselves. Kanye's in a situation right now where his support system is Kim, and Kim cares about herself and her image more than she cares about him in general. So
now you're speaking on something that you don't know.
I mean, you don't know that.
You're speaking on something you don't know.
That's why I say it personally.
You're speaking on something you don't know.
That's why I say it personally.
From her actions, because this like Don was saying, there's a level of what you do where your actions kind of display of how you feel.
I got two.
Oh, this is a good conversation. This is a good conversation. All right, go ahead, D. We're gonna go D.
No, he didn't finish. He didn't finish.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were done. My bad. Go ahead.
I didn't finish, and this is the thing about it though. It seems like to me what it's coming off as everybody is doing what they think is best for Kanye, but not doing what is really best for Kanye. It's what this their personal opinion. They're not taking the time to really, really understand. The only person that really understood him was his mom. Point exactly. Like Reese said, everybody's like, to him, everybody else is temporary. Like look, think about what he was just tweeting out the other day, bro. He's not happy in that marriage. Look at there was truth to what he was tweeting. He tweeted and deleted, but there was truth. You said what?
It's a lot.
Said you're speaking again on something that we don't know the facts of.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I personally don't. I don't know their relationship. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and I don't know. So it's just like I'm speaking on stuff personally, how I think. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, give me that. I'm in the paint. Give me that joint right now in the paint. So, in the past 5 years, Haley is a really big fan of the Kardashians.
By the way,
D is married.
Yeah, that's my wife. That's my wife. Like, that's my wife. Sorry. She's a really big fan of the Kardashians. So the past 5 years, I've sat and watched that show. And it's actually a really good.
I was ready to say it's not even that bad. I be cracking up.
It's funny as hell. Like it's really good. Anyway, so and then following Ye as I followed, I knew this manic episode was the biggest that he's ever had because he came out of his mouth and he disrespected the one person that he holds next to God, and that's his wife. If you followed Ye and you followed their relationship, you will see and have seen he loves that woman as much as he loved his mother.
Yes,
he loved her before, right? Like
he loved, and he loved her before they were even together.
Yeah.
So I knew this was a big episode because he came out of his mouth and he disrespected his wife. To the point of Donnell and Nazir.
No, address me separate. What I said separate.
My bad.
Yo.
I'm just
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying.
Don podding today.
He is podding today.
He podding today.
Put on his big boy draws.
Yeah. Donnell, you spoke to saying that Kim should be his shield. Kim should be the one to kind of pull him out of the spotlight. She should be able doing this, doing that. And this is kind of going to Reek's point that he brought this conversation up. It's not your wife's job to do that. It's not your wife's job to be his shield. At the end of the day, Kanye is a grown-ass man. And Key even asked the question, whose ideas was this? It was fucking Kanye's idea to do all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody will ever be able to tell Kanye, hey, Kanye, you shouldn't do that. Kanye doesn't give a fuck. He's going to do what he wants to do. So we don't know if Kim said, hey, babe, this little thing that you're getting ready to do, you probably shouldn't do that.
I guess
as I've watched them, I'm a believer that she probably did tell Ye, hey, babe, this probably isn't the smartest thing to do. If you, in watching their relationship, he moved out to Wyoming. He wants to move his family out to Wyoming. So now what he's done is basically put his wife in this position to say, hey, I want to pull you from the life that you've had. I want to pull you from your bread making, and I want you to come out here and bring our family out here. As a man, you should never give an ultimatum to your spouse or your significant other. Anybody should never give ultimatums to people and try to pull them away from their shit. So you saying that Kim should be his shield and do this, that, and the fourth, we don't know if she was or not. All we know, like he said, all we know is what this nigga Ye is showing us.
Yes.
And from what he showed us, this nigga does what the fuck he wants to do. One way.
Briefly, I want to briefly touch on what you said.
Hold on.
Before I gotta go talk to Nazir.
I know. I'm gonna lose it.
Keep going.
Nazir, you spoke to his circle, and you spoke to him not being happy in a marriage. You got that from his tweets, him saying, "Hey, I'm in the get out is about me. I'm doing this." You're right now, basically
I was speaking to the tweet. Say that tweet's still out there. He tweeted and deleted a whole bunch of stuff
about the Meek shit and all this, that, and forth. At the end of the day, what we're speaking on is shit that we really don't have the full facts of. We don't know what the fuck is going on in their marriage.
No.
Prior to
That's
this,
the fun of it.
Okay, but we're speaking on a
we
real
don't
topic,
know.
so the fun has to be put
we're
on
still
the back
speculating.
burner. Fun is on the back burner because I don't want niggas to really think that. And that's another thing I want to talk about is this social media shit. Real quick.
It's different. That's different.
Le'Veon Bell, you a bitch for going to Twitter and
that's different. See, that's different. That's different.
Niggas, keep your beef. Nah, keep your beef and shit off of Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say to that.
That's different.
Who is this character?
He's a football player. He's a football player that brought his issues to Twitter because somebody he thought was a leader wanted to get the fuck out of where he was. Le'Veon Bell, why are you tweeting about it?
Come on.
If he,
that's the name of it.
I wasn't even going to touch this.
Anyway,
I wasn't going to touch this right now.
That was funny though. Who's that character?
Who's this character?
Nas.
That's the title of this episode for
Nas. I agree with you in the sense of we really don't know who his circle is. We saw that Dave Chappelle got on a plane and flew to Wyoming the next fucking day. So if you go back and you do your homework, that's a part of his circle is Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
So the people that were his circle that really know that they can talk to him and kind of bring him down, they were there the next day. So shout out to his circle. I do agree with you, Nas. You shouldn't have people in your circle that are just gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, you're a millionaire. Yeah, you can do this.
Yes,
you
man.
can do this." No, nigga, shut your damn mouth. Really think about you just disrespected the one person that you hold to a very high regard, nigga. You talking crazy,
Darian? This is more speculation though, because yes, you're saying he holds her to that high regard, but like I was saying, you have to have people in your circle that care about you as much as they care about themselves. Who are we to say that? Like, where is Kim showing that type of care?
That's what I'm telling you. Go back and watch these fucking episodes of Keeping Up the Kardashians. What she's shown, because again, that's all we can ever talk about. All we can ever talk about is what we are shown, right?
Yes.
What she shows is that she holds that man to the same regard that he holds her.
But I want to. Okay, so the part that I want to briefly touch on, because I want Key to say. I want Key to. No, I want Key to shut up. I want Key to say her piece. But
don't touch anything on me.
But when you said that, she probably, knowing Kim off of watching the show, she probably did have that phone call.
That's my belief. Yes.
She probably did speculate.
Because
all of this is speculation.
True.
So it's just like, most likely she had that phone call. At this stage in his life, because this isn't the first time that it's
right. This isn't new.
So this isn't new.
Right.
I don't need a phone call. I need you to take your private jet to wherever he's at. I need you to take your private jet.
She got money.
to go wherever he at. Yo. No, we're not doing this.
Sit your ass down.
We're not doing this. No.
Go ahead, Reed.
We're not doing this.
Go ahead, Reed.
Before we do that, Key,
let you go because she has some.
I want to hear I need the facts, so I need to hear this.
We don't have.
It's hard. That's what I'm saying. All of this is speculation.
Everything we're talking about is speculation.
They don't know what Kim is doing.
In her jet.
No.
No, we don't know.
What I would say is this: we do have seen on social media that she did take the time, right, to put a statement out on what she has
been doing
and what she has felt in regards to everything. She also put out that she made the effort to get this nigga help.
And that's shown again if you watch the show. She's shown.
And you saw how he responded on Twitter.
Yeah. So it's two options. I can't remember really which one to recall. Y'all can help me out. But either she had two therapists fly in to come talk to him, or she tried to get him to go to a therapy session.
It was the both.
All right, so wait. Before we go there, right? That's a good point. Two therapists. Were they black and were they a woman? Because at the core of Kanye, where his issues are really lying, is with his mom. So he needs somebody that looks like or resembles his mother for him to be able to.
Do you really believe that?
I do. Hell yes. Hell yes.
Key. No, this. I want this question. I want this question for Key. I want this question for her.
As a psych major as well, they have a big assumption that for males, we have a strong belief in following of our bringing up. We relate a lot of things to our mother if you were connected very heavy to her. And I did not realize it until I got to probably my freshman year of college. The women I am attracted to the most have characteristics of my mother.
That's usually how it works.
So that's what I'm saying. So for the therapy, he probably needs somebody that resembles his mother.
But then at the same time, the gap that's missing in his life was also his father. So then you could say, maybe
that's what I'm saying. You have both sides.
We don't know. We don't know.
He doesn't listen to males because I had that issue. I still kind of have that issue. As a man who did not have his father in his life or a father figure in their life, you have an issue with listening to the authority of males. I didn't give a damn about a lot of my coaches growing up because I was just like, why would I listen to you? Ain't no male in my life gave me a reason to trust or respect them. So why am I gonna start with you?
Exactly.
He's not going to listen. I don't think he's going to listen or respect a male therapist, white or black, in this.
It also ties into for example, if his mom was the person that he confides in, that's where he was comfortable. You kind of want to put him in a setting to where he's comfortable. He's in the comfortable position of the person he's talking to. So bringing a black woman in there gives him that comfort of talking to a woman similar to his mother. I
have two things to say.
You can handle that job.
Go ahead.
She don't want to talk to Ye. I
have two things to say. So the first one is about marriage, and like I was saying before, so I asked a lot of questions before I started making statements about certain things. So y'all were arguing like, what should this person's job be in the marriage and what they need to do. So first of all, we don't know how they define marriage and what marriage means to them. And second of all, we don't know the expectations in their marriage. So the expectation could be that Kim is supposed to be the shield. The expectation could be that Kanye is supposed to be the shield. Which I don't agree with either. I believe that in a marriage, two people have strengths in different areas and the two people have growth areas. And in those growth areas, y'all work together to figure out who's the strongest and how that stronger person in that area can help you work on that growth area so that we can both work towards being equal.
Agree.
Now, whether that means that the stronger person has to take the lead, that's on y'all. But I think meaning making in their own marriage will determine the decisions that they make, because I mean, that's just how people operate. You figure out what you feel about certain things or what you think about certain things, and that's just how you move. That's all I really had to say about that. Okay, so this black woman situation.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I'm very sensitive about black women needing to take on roles of superwoman, because we naturally have that role, whether it comes to being the big sister and now you're taking care of all the siblings, because statistically, the oldest girl in the family is normally the nurturer, the person that is triangulated into parental roles. Even if there is a male that is older than them, they still have to take on the role of taking care of. And so we never really get a space to be children, on top of the fact that black girls are normally seen as women at young ages. And so we are pushed into the role of being grown. As far as him having issues with his mom, so I do agree that maybe he does need a therapist that's black and that's a woman, but I'm also a challenger. I'm just not about to let you coast through therapy and not work on things. So what I would do is maybe I would start off as his therapist. Then when I feel like we're getting comfortable, things are getting better, I would ask that I bring a male therapist in there to do co-therapy with me. And we would start working together on those issues. And then we will have a discussion about me transitioning out and the male being the sole therapist. Because at some point, you have to change your mindset about certain things if it's not benefiting you. If you're never a person who wants to listen to males because you had attachment issues with your father, that's an issue you need to work on. And you need to be intentional about it. And just saying that a black woman needs to be the one who saves you, that's not really our job, first of all, because being a therapist is not about saving people. People save themselves. When people come into my session, I already believe that every single person, every single client has the tools that they need to help themselves. I'm just here as a guide to help you. Because like I said before, I don't know you. So I don't necessarily know what's best for you. We can navigate that together. But if you have issues with something, then we definitely need to start exposing you to that after I feel, like it's a good time to do that. We're not gonna traumatize you, but I'm not gonna take on the role of fixing you, because I'm not about to be doing your work in therapy.
She podding.
See,
She definitely podding.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely podding.
I agree with literally everything that you have said, Keith. And then I'm going to go even further, though, kind of just to add my own little opinion on it as well. First and foremost, I think you're absolutely right when it comes to challenging and being able to do that. Because me personally, I grew up in an environment where I relied heavily on my male figures, because I didn't really have a mother figure in my life until I was about 15, 16 years old. So I relied heavily on males. And it kind of stemmed into me having issues just dealing with women in general, just due to the facts of me and my mother's relationship. So when I finally got to that point of where I was kind of overwhelmed and breaking down and going through my own stages, I decided with my therapy that I started taking steps into making myself comfortable to be in the mindset where I can deal with women on that type of level. So at first I started off with, I had a white woman as my therapist, just to the point of me allowing myself to get comfortable with talking to a woman on that type of time. And then eventually, after 5-6 months of therapy with her, I was able to, when I came home, I decided, I want to find me a black woman as my therapist, so I can finally get through this thing that I've had within myself of being able to confide in a black woman and being able to open up and being able to really let my emotions spill, to the point where I was able to finally get to the point where I was able to sit down and have those type of conversations with my mother about how she made me feel growing up, how I felt neglected, and how I felt all these other things that kind of circus. So I 100% agree with you on that, but I also have to go back to the whole point of what we were kind of saying with Kanye, and how with black women, him needing a black woman, because we weren't saying that he had issues with his mother. We're saying that his mother was his comfort. So, and I feel like there are some people that get to a certain level of uncomfort where they won't say anything at all. And the whole point first, I feel like you have to first give them that level of comfort so they can ease their way into finally getting able to open up and talk. And then once they get to that level, then you can make them face the uncomfortable reality that they don't want to face by slowly bringing them in through steps. That's why I believe there should be more Black men and more Black people in this field in general, because it creates that level of comfort. Because a lot of people don't want to talk, and if you're not who they want to talk to, they don't feel comfortable talking to you at all, then nothing's going to get resolved. You have to slowly work them in, and then once you get them there, that's when you face them to that level of discomfort.
Well, last takes, anybody? You got something to say, Reed?
I think it comes to a point also of just, kind of everybody wants to have somebody they feel like they can relate to at the end of the day. Like, I'm not personally going to go to my therapy sessions, they were, my first therapy session for me was when I was 4. I went through a lot as a kid, watching my mom.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my first therapy session was when I was 4 as a kid, because I watched my mom physically be abused. So seeing that and being a Black young male, having a white male as my therapist, I was already like kind of beyond my age, because I'm sitting there like, you're not going to understand what I'm about to say. Like, one of the first questions I asked him, and my mom said it, she couldn't believe it, honestly, because she had to sit in the room with me. She couldn't believe it, but I literally asked him, I'm just like, have you ever watched your mom get hit? And he just looked at me. So now I'm sitting here as a 4-year-old like, am I going through the therapy, or are you going through the therapy right now?
Yikes.
Like, let's be real. Because how can you help me when you don't know?
You don't even know where I've been. Yeah.
So my thing to this, the reason I said that is, how can you, being a therapist is hard. It's very draining. Just being a psych major and knowing that, and being an intensive in-home counselor for kids, I purposefully picked my job because I know what a lot of these kids are going through. I've been in your shoes. I've been in your position. So I know where you're coming from, and I'm going to help you get through this, how I handled it the best way possible, but you're going to find your own way. But here's some suggestions to get you through that. I don't think Kanye has been in a position where I can't speak on it. I can't say he has or hasn't, but I personally don't think he's been in a position where he had somebody to be able to relate to him and say, hey, look, I know what you're going through. I know how you feel, but it doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to do all of this. You don't have to show out. You don't have to get all of this attention for this. You don't have to prove yourself that you need help. This is what we're going to do. This is what we need to do to get past this. This is what we need to do to help you slowly get over this. His mom has been gone since 2007. That's 13 years. That shit don't get easy. Just because it's time passed, yeah, time heals everything, but that takes a lot to lose a mom. So I just think he needs to, whoever his support system is, wherever they are, they need to find somebody who can relate to him and get him the help that he possibly needs. My last thing I will also kind of ask is, because I know with you being a marriage therapist as well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Dee and I had this discussion. Personally, we felt, do you think marriage counseling before you get married, should you go through therapy as a couple? Do you think it's a must?
In my personal opinion, yes.
Why? In your opinion, why?
I think it's beneficial because sometimes couples just don't have conversations about certain things. And I think that when you have somebody, and like I can't even always fault people, because sometimes you don't know the conversations to have. So you can't ask somebody questions if you don't know that you're supposed to be asking those questions. But it's a lot of things that people really don't know about their partner, as far as like their credit, or maybe they didn't want to have kids, or maybe they didn't want to live in Texas. Maybe they always wanted to live in Canada. You know, like, it's just stuff that people...
How do people not know that stuff?
They're not asking the questions.
Who doesn't ask these questions?
It's a lot of people who not
You
asking.
would be surprised.
Be
surprised.
So how do you not know your husband or wife didn't want kids or does want kids?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, it's...
Have y'all ever been in a relationship with somebody and either you felt like something they were doing that you didn't like was going to change, or they felt like something they didn't like about you was going to change, but y'all loved each other so much that you just stayed and you felt like, no, we could probably deal with that, or they'll change.
Call it a death. I've definitely been in that. I would just say
100%.
Nah.
So sometimes that happens too. Like maybe it was blatantly said, like, I don't want to have kids at 20, and then at 40, you like, bro,
you thought something was gonna change.
You really don't want to have kids?
Damn, I wish he was here when we had that relationship talk.
No,
because niggas was looking at me when I was crazy when I was saying you should really get to know the person before you.
That wasn't why we were looking at.
Yes,
we were talking
crazy
about
because you tried to say that it should.
You should do that before you even get into.
You should know.
You should do that before you get into what?
You should know these things before you determine if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with somebody. There are certain questions, in this my opinion. There are certain questions that should be asked or certain conversations that should be had. And that's why when me and Haley first got engaged, somebody said, oh, maybe you all should go to marriage counseling. And I looked and I'm like, why?
For what?
For what? If me and her, and I'm not saying, Key, I'm not saying those are the only questions that should be asked, but the questions that you just spoke of, me and my wife had those conversations.
These are the facts. I mean, some people do, but it's a lot of people on this earth who don't. And I
I believe that. I believe you.
They be coming in. Like, this really happens in life.
It's like, how, like,
they go,
I don't get it.
Another problem, though, and another problem with marriage is sometimes people look at marriage as like this stock thing. So they expect certain things out of somebody. Like some people might expect to have a kid, they might not want a kid.
So yes. So it's certain things.
They might expect a meal. They can't cook.
But that's about like it's basically about like your better half is basically, for me personally, I think your better half has traits that you're not strong in, but they are. So they can kind of help you through what your weaknesses are, and it's like if they can identify those, that's even better. It's like, yo, you're not a good, and now we're working on that. And it's just like, hey, well, I don't like how you did. Now we're working on that. So it's
some people can't converse. Some people can't communicate like that though.
With knowing that, I feel like yes, marriage therapy. Like before you get married, I feel like you and her should go to therapy. If y'all can't, do that, if y'all can't do that without
never
a
had
therapist,
those conversations, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you can't do that without the therapist, please go to therapy before you get into some
conversations are also avoided too. Like for example, I had a couple who. They had different religious backgrounds.
That never worked.
The conversations, well, personally, I believe in God, so there's really nothing that I
preach
believe
on that. It's Sunday.
But so they never really dove into that territory, and I believe it was probably because they stopped coming. But I believe it was probably because they were afraid that it would probably end their relationship.
Right.
But I think when you dive into things that are culture related and your family is involved and it could impact your kids in the future or the decisions that you make in the future, those are hard conversations to have. And if you're generally having issues with communication, because communication is like such a broad term, but if y'all aren't the best at communicating in the relationship in general, then these things get skated over easily because you're afraid to have the conversation in your relationship. So then when you come to therapy, not only are you talking about culture, religion, your family, you're also talking about the fact that we're not really communicating the best that we can in our relationship.
Yeah.
So going to marriage counseling before could be about big things like that, or it could just be when we argue, we don't really resolve the issue, and every time we argue, we coming back to that argument we had on our second date.
So it's like crazy. I'm glad you said something about arguments though. Like I have a rule. Like if you get in a situation, a relationship, anything with me, I don't argue. I'm not having. No, but listen. You can't get anything accomplished in an argument. You can't.
We have arguments all the time and we get shit
accomplished. No, we have debates.
You and I,
with your significant other.
You and I, like this whole group.
We have debates. We debate about a lot of things, and as far as our voices will escalate, but it's not necessarily an argument. I feel like passion and anger and emotion comes within an argument where you can't get anything accomplished because y'all are at 2 points emotionally that it's like y'all are just screaming at each other. Nobody's hearing one another. Nobody's getting anything accomplished. So if you're gonna be with me, I'm not gonna argue with you. If it's something that comes up that you don't like, okay, we're gonna wait a while before we have this conversation. And we're gonna come back and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about this. Why? Okay, what made you upset? Why were you upset? And then we're gonna address things like that. We're going to talk because this is the only way you can hear me and I can hear you. So it's like I can't argue. There is no arguments.
That's a great point, Don.
With me.
Go ahead, Rose. Go ahead, Rose.
Go ahead, Ian. What you got?
The signature ending.
Oh God.
Y'all need to stop doing that shit. Yeah, that's I hear you, Don, but I used to feel the same way. You have. I'm not gonna say you have to. I think it's important to argue because I think there's this false reality that we think nothing gets accomplished in an argument. I think that's bullshit.
Fact.
You say, "Oh, we screaming at each other. Our emotional levels are too high. We're not listening to one another." That's bullshit. Because if you're not listening, then how can you go back there and fester on the shit that she said that stepped on your toes?
That's facts. That's facts.
Some of the realest stuff comes out when you actually are arguing.
The real shit comes out when you argue.
That's the truth.
That's not thought about. When you sit down and you think about it, you also start thinking about ways to avoid the uncomfortableness of what you're trying to say.
No, okay.
That's just gonna be super uncomfortable. It's gonna be super uncomfortable, but sometimes argument it takes the thing. Sometimes you do something to your girl to where she don't want to sit down and think about it. She just gonna yell at your stupid ass.
She just want to scream at you. Scream at you. It's all right.
That's all it is. Like sometimes that's all it be. And then what she says step on, and then what she says steps on your toes. And then you get angry, and then that's how it becomes an argument. Because now you throw something back at her to try to hurt her because you felt your feelings got hurt. That's when it becomes an argument.
So for me, that's what I'm saying. So for me, that's why I do not in my current relationship, I do not argue. I don't. We both have the capacity to understand arguments between us aren't going to get anything accomplished.
That works.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It works. It works for me.
Relationship, but what I'm speaking on is in general, and it's like this false picture of arguing doesn't solve anything. Like I trust me. I went through a very long relationship, and I thought the same thing. And the more I look back on it, the more I go to therapy, the more that I understand myself and I understand relationships, the more that I see that was a big problem. It's the fact that we try to avoid that. I think relationships come with very strong emotions because in the end of the day, you have tied yourself to that person.
Yeah.
You may have not done it in the spiritual way yet with a marriage, but you have tied yourself to that person, meaning sometimes emotions things are going to piss you off that normally don't piss you off because that person is you hold that person to a higher standard. You don't expect that person to do something like that, or maybe that person doesn't have to do something to you. Maybe it's the way that he treated somebody else or she treated somebody else, and you were just like, hold up, like that character that you just displayed is not what I thought you were. Like, is there something that you need to tell me? All kind of shit. Like, there's all different sorts. Like, there's all kinds of situations that will put you in a moment of like intense emotion, where like you just gonna fucking whatever happens or whatever you say. Now, I'm not saying that that's a excuse to say whatever you want to say to hurt your partner.
Yeah.
I think once you get there, that's when you start to look into that thing called abuse. And
yeah, that's completely different.
Physical, it's verbal also. You see what I'm saying? So
that emotional abuse is something serious.
having emotions are going to lead to loud talking. You see what I'm saying? It's going to lead, because at the end of the day, that's all you're doing is one person trying to get their point over the other person.
Yeah.
But I think we all hear that shit. Like, we all say, like, oh, you yelling. I don't hear you when you yell. Like, oh, I stop listening when you yell. Bullshit. Bullshit.
You fucking hear it.
Because you'll think about that argument all day. So if you wouldn't listen, then what the fuck is you thinking about?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
He's stewing.
So, no, but
I'm going to order down real quick. I'm going to tell you this, Don. I do think that it is key to have a talk because
no pun intended. That was great.
Oh wow!
Can
I get some credit? I done had a couple bars recently. I done had some couple bars.
That was a bar.
Nah, but she did it so subtle.
She did. I ain't even peeping. To have a talk, like what me and Haley will do, and Ion he used to get on me. He's like, "Why are you all always arguing?" Pause. Why are you? It's Reek's fault. Reek did it. Why are y'all always arguing? Like da 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 da. We would have arguments, and you know how VMI is set up. I would go to her room.
You know how y'all argue,
right? We would argue, right? And Ion be like, "Nigga, where you going?" I remember. Quick story. First time me and Haley got into an argument early on in our relationship. I said something. I did something because it's always usually me doing something. I said something and did something. And I was like, yo, like, I'm like, I can't figure out, what am I doing? What did I do wrong? He's like, nigga, shut up. You messed up. And I'm like, damn. All right. Mind you, this is my best friend. I'm like, all right, if he telling me I messed up, I really must have messed up. So let me go and talk to her. He said, no, sit your ass down. He said, 30 minutes, don't move.
Oh,
and I'm like, yo, what you mean? I'm a grown-ass man. Like, shut up, nigga. You're not going to tell me. Nah, sit down, shut up, 30 minutes, don't move. Me and Haley, from that moment on, we will have arguments, we will step away, and we will come back and then have that talk that you're speaking of, Don. Like, and I'll tell her, like, yell at me, like, let me know, like, don't hold your shit in, because the minute you hold it in, that shit just festers, it builds, it builds, and then you're gonna yell at me for not washing the dishes, and it's like, why is that such a big deal? No, really, it was something that we didn't talk about, and that's why I always tell her, I used to drill it. We are not going to bed because biblically God says, do not let the sun go down on your wrath. So I would tell her, we are not going to bed until we figure out what the issue is. Now, we don't necessarily have to resolve it right now, but you're going to tell me what's pissing you off, and I'm going to tell you what's pissing me off. So we kind of do a hybrid of what you're speaking of, Don. We'll have an argument, step away. Then it's like, all right, now let's really talk. Like, now I heard what I heard what you said, because like Ion said, we can act like we don't hear shit. No, I heard her. Yeah. I really didn't want to hear her, but I heard her. Then it's like, all right, babe, like, I heard what you said. Now let me kind of explain to you
But it's for me personally. I think
right. We getting out of here after this one.
I know, but I like post.
Because women always say some shit that really they know is gonna hurt our feelings. So.
Oh man, they hit you square in the chest.
They gonna punch you in the jaw, like they cutting for blood.
He say y'all not gonna group me in that. Stop.
Yeah, tell them ain't no weak shit. Ain't no weak shit out here.
But no, like legit, I think it's okay. So I think it's post like my mind state of being angry at the world. And always having that anger and that frustration and that I'm yelling at you for no reason type of mindset. So it's like post that. Shut up. Post that.
I have to say too.
Yeah, but like post that is just like
today. It's the Don podcast featuring y'all niggas.
I'm just saying, like it's like I feel like once I achieved a level of happiness within myself. I can't allow myself to get that angry, not with one person, with individuals, with any situation, with anything like that. I have too much joy and too much peacefulness in me that is just like, yo, I can't. It's like I can't get myself to that point where I'm yelling and angry and mad and throwing all this stuff at you because I'm not gonna ruin that for you.
Hold on.
So it's just like
Can I say something?
Ain't no cap on, bro. We podding today, Ty. We podding today, Ty.
All right, fuck it. We podding today. That's fine.
So I'm just like, I can't, like, bro, I cannot. I can't bring myself to argue with anybody. So it's like, yo, if I did something that made you mad, I want you to hold on to it. I want you to hold on to it. Hold on to it. And when I get my mind state straight, and we gonna sit down and we gonna have this tough conversation. I don't care if it's gonna tears, snot, boogers, all that. I don't care. We gonna have this tough conversation. But we're gonna have this as a conversation, not as me and you yelling at each other. I want you. If you gotta write it down, please. I don't want you to forget 8 points.
I'll go.
I think we get you, Don.
But it's just
Key, go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
So when y'all were talking, like, I thought that y'all were talking about like two different things. I think what Don is saying, because I'm a person of language and what things mean, so I look things up. So I looked up the word argument, I looked up the word debate, and then I looked up the word confrontation. So D was saying that he has arguments, and then that's when confrontation happens. Ian is saying an argument is inevitable. And Don is saying that, no, I don't have arguments at all. I have confrontation. The difference between an argument and a confrontation is the argument is generally like heated or angry one. And then confrontation is more of like a meeting or situation between opposing parties. So basically, what'd you say?
Talk your therapy shit. I hear you.
So because it didn't sound like anybody was wrong. It was just like, because when Ian was saying, no, things are going to happen, I agree. I do think that things are going to happen, but what I think Don is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that I recognize when I'm getting out of character, and I don't like to get in certain spaces. So when I feel that an argument is coming on, I feel like I need to relax. And so we got to think about this for a second, and then we can still be mad about it, but it's a certain type of way we about to have this conversation. And I definitely agree, because I'm that type of person. Because in response to what Tyreek was saying, people say things out of anger, and sometimes I don't believe that the things that they say they mean. I think that people get so mad that they just start throwing insults, whether they believe it or not. They just know that it'll be hurtful. Like, you ugly.
Try to hurt you.
Like, I mean,
like,
if somebody say you ugly, I don't
height.
necessarily. I mean, some people do date people that they feel are ugly, but I'm not about to date nobody that I feel is ugly. So if I throw a random insult like you ugly, I don't mean that. But in the heat of an argument,
I know it's gonna hurt.
That might come out.
So we were right in saying that more than likely the women know what's gonna hurt. They say the things that they know is gonna hurt.
I think that people in general know.
People in general.
I think women are better at it. I think women are better. They're better at doing it.
Hold on. Maybe you're used to women being a certain way, and so when they do certain things, then it's like that was a dagger to my heart. But I think that people in general do and say things that are hurtful out of anger.
For sure.
So, Big Rose, hold on.
Go ahead, bro.
Hold on. I'm not gonna lie.
Putting that out because I don't need my clients to be knowing where I be.
Straight.
I'm not gonna let you get that off because you didn't kill one of our mans for grouping people, and then you had the nerve to sit here and try to group women. I'm not. You said women.
I said women are better. I said they're better at it.
That's a group. That's like somebody saying that all men are bad.
Okay, so for the women who it doesn't apply to, hold on, wait, watch this.
I'm screaming at them.
Clean up.
There it is. That's all I want. I want to hear clean up.
Women who it doesn't apply to, we're not talking to you. The women who are good at it are fucking good at it. And they're good at doing what they do.
AD,
well, I'll say that nobody needs to be talking outside of love. And I tweeted this the other day. Even when you're angry, you need to speak out of love. And that's because at the end of the day, if you plan on being together, y'all gonna be calm again and y'all gonna have to address what you just said.
What was said. Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Go ahead, Rose. Big Rose. Go ahead, Big Rose.
And we can wrap it up after this.
Finish us off, bro.
We pod today, Big Dog.
Best pod ever.
Yo, wow. First and foremost, I want to say, Key, you just made me feel so uneducated when you looked on words up. You looking words up and things of that nature. That just made me feel really uneducated. I was just like, yeah.
What?
She's a little level above me. Now let me stop.
There's levels to this.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's a joke. It's all jokes. It's all jokes.
It's totally fine. But yeah, I just think I kind of figured that's where Don was when it was about, like going out of character. But I just noticed you did exactly what we said was difficult earlier. Like you sort of took the time to like dissect everything we just said. You know what I mean? It was like I'm hearing things and it's like, they ain't necessarily wrong, but let me see if I can like, I guess, put it out there in a better way. You know what I'm saying? I think that was cool. But to just piggyback off of what everybody else was saying, and Don specifically, I totally agree, man. I think it's very important to have the conversation or notice when you're getting out of character. And what she just said is, even when you're mad, say things out of love. You know what I'm saying? Because you can definitely be critical of a person and not try to rip a person's heart out. True. At the same time. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you love a person, there's nothing wrong with critiquing a person and telling a person what's going on and how you feel, and if that person's making you feel a certain way, how that person makes you feel. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's also important to just not run away from the emotions that your partner make you feel. No matter how small you may think your partner may think it is, if that makes sense. No matter how small you guys, may think that is. Can y'all just not do that? Damn.
I forgot I went on mute.
I mean, y'all like.
I forgot I went on mute, and I look at this man's face, and I just started tripping, though.
That's all good.
It doesn't matter how small she may think it is.
I'm sorry.
All right. We're gonna get out of here. Key, where can everybody find you? Instagram, Twitter, email,
website, all that.
So my Instagram is at Key Talks Therapy, KEE Talks TALKS Therapy THERAPY. You can find me on Instagram there and Facebook there. My Twitter is personal, so don't find me on Twitter. So yeah, website coming soon, so be on the lookout for that too.
Got you. All right, perfect. Well, that is episode 15 from the Here Y'all Go podcast. We definitely appreciate you joining us. But yeah, love y'all.
Love.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Adios.